Morning, my friends. I'm Pastor Ben Hayes from First Baptist Church, Dadeville, Alabama, bringing you our thought for the day on this thankful Thursday. What are you thankful for? I'm thankful for you. I'm thankful for my family. I'm thankful for God being with Brother Greg Sanders last night. He is in the hospital. Keep lifting him up in your prayers. But right now, I want you to join me in 1 Corinthians chapter 7, and we're going to pick up in verse 29. Remember, Paul's been talking about this issue with marriage. If you're a believer married to an unbeliever, if the unbeliever is willing to stay in the marriage, let her stay. If she's ready to move on, let her move on. If you're not married when you become a Christian, he says don't seek to get married. If you are married, don't seek to get out of the marriage. He's just trying to give some principles for how we're to live our lives in terms of Christianity. And of course, understand this was first century Christianity, first generation Christians in Corinth, and so they needed to know how to do just about everything in terms of living the Christian life. And look what Paul says, verse 29. But this I say, brethren, the time is short. What's he talking about? He's talking about his belief that Jesus is coming again soon. He believed that Jesus would come before he left this earth, because he truly believed that that was what was going to happen. That's why he was so passionate about witnessing and preaching and bringing people to the saving knowledge of Jesus Christ. And by the way, this is a good command for all of us. We need to be aware that the time is short. Now you say, well, preacher, of course it's not short. He said that 2,000 years ago and Jesus hadn't come. Yeah, 2,000 years closer. And I believe that he could come at any moment. And the Bible teaches us that that's how we ought to live our lives, that at any moment that trumpet would sound and Jesus would return. Now, what does that have to do with what he's talking about here? He says, so that from now on, even those who have wives should be as though they had none, those who weep as though they did not weep, those who rejoice as though they did not rejoice, those who buy as though they did not possess, and those who use this world as not misusing it, for the form of this world is passing away. Now, please hear me when I say this. Paul was not saying that we should mistreat our spouses, that we should ignore them, that we should neglect them, that we should just focus on doing the things of God and ignoring everything else. Because here's the thing. Your first priority as a husband, as a wife, as a parent is your family. Now, your love for God is supreme. Right after that is your family, and you have a responsibility to take care of them. Paul says in his letter to Timothy, a man that doesn't take care of his family is worse than an infidel, an unbeliever. So understand, family is important. Paul made it clear in several of his letters that husbands are to love their wives as Christ loved the church. Wives are to submit themselves unto their husbands, giving them respect. Husbands are to honor their wives. And if they don't honor their wives, treat them as precious, then God will not hear their prayers, the husband's prayers. Okay? So understand, Paul is not saying that. What he's talking about is we need to live our lives focused on following Jesus. Now, we do that together as a family. Do it in terms of mission. Do it in terms of ministry. Think about this. When he says, as those who weep, those who do not weep, those who rejoice, those who do not rejoice, those who possess, those who do not possess. It doesn't matter who you are. It doesn't matter what your situation is. Live as if this day could be your last, because it very well could. It very well could. Whether Jesus returns or not, none of us is guaranteed another breath, another heartbeat. It could happen in an instant. But Paul says in verse 31, for the form of this world is passing away. Now, what is behind all of this for the Apostle Paul? Why is he hitting this so hard? Virgins should stay unmarried. I wish that you all were like me, Paul says. Here's the reason. He says, I want you to be without care. He who is unmarried cares for the things of the Lord, how he may please the Lord. But he who is married cares about the things of the world, how he may please his wife. There's a difference between a wife and a virgin. The unmarried woman cares about the things of the Lord, that she may be holy both in body and in spirit. But she who is married cares about the things of the world, how she may please her husband. So Paul is talking about this. He's saying, look, there is a generation that will be raised up that will understand this comment. that it's time to focus completely on serving God. In fact, in the book of Revelation, the Apostle John says there'll be 144,000 men who are Jewish men who will be celibate, holy, and pure, and God will use them in the last days. Look it up. Check it out. I will be back here tomorrow. God bless.